warm on that walk. Anyway, I just did part of the North Branch Trail up at the Moosalamoo Recreation Area. Love to do the whole trail, but I don't have time. 2 nights up here just isn't enough time. It gives basically 1 full day here. We gotta plan a longer trip back to this place, that's for sure. Taking a break here back at Voters Brook Overlook again, and then we're gonna stop my way back to the campsite. So tonight for dinner I've decided I'm making pork fried rice again. So that's what I'm working on now. But actually what I'm actually going to start doing, is start making tomorrow's dinner. Now as I said, I think in the previous video I said this, for Saturday I am going to the Hamfest, Northeast Ham Exposition. So I'm going to be staying at a parking lot, basically, parking lot camping someplace in or around Marlboro, maybe even right at the convention site. Hopefully that's actually where I'll be camping Friday night. But it's going to be up in the Marlboro area. It's going to be up into the 90s temperature-wise. I'm not going to be wanting to cook anything inside the van. And since I'm going to be in a parking lot, I can't set up my outdoor kitchen or anything like that. So I decided I'm going to make myself a chicken salad. So I am going to be making, grilling up, or at least frying pan cooking some chicken here for that. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it cool off so it'll be nice and cold for tomorrow. Yeah, I got the lettuce, I got pepper and salad dressing and bacon and all kinds of great stuff to put in it. But that's going to have to wait till tomorrow. So tonight I'm making the pork fried rice for dinner. I know, it's all confusing. I'm all confused because we had somebody just pull up in the campsite there thinking they were going to get the site here, but I got it first. Didn't quite come out right again. I actually undermade the amount of rice I put in it, so that's okay. It looks like it's still going to taste good. Make some sweet and sour sauce into it and it'll be good. And the chicken's made. Sitting in a bowl inside the van right now, cooling off, and I'll put it, after it cools down enough, I'll put it into a Ziploc bag and stick it in the fridge. And we'll be ready for dinner tomorrow. In the meantime, I've got dinner for tonight. We should be good. Every trip, it's the same thing. This van is a disaster. It's so nice when I get these custom cabinets built out here and I can have places to put everything with it's supposed to be. So while I was cleaning up some of this mess here, I figured I'd talk about a couple of things here going on with the van here and my well, stuff I've purchased recently anyway. So if you remember the last time I was up in this area here in Vermont, I had a weird issue, okay? So, my cell phone is on T-Mobile. It's all well and good. If I bring this down here, well, it says searching now, but if I go outside of the van, it'll pick up a nice AT&T signal, a weak signal here, but a signal. If I go down to Voters Brook Overlook, it gets a really strong full-scale AT&T signal. So it's roaming on AT&T's network. Now when T-Mobile roams on AT&T's network, you only get like 50 megabytes. At least on the prepaid plan that I have, you only get 50 megabytes of data throughput while you're roaming on somebody else's network. So that's why I have my hotspot. I have this on a plan through Cricket Wireless. Cricket Wireless uses AT&T's network. So I had been using this for a couple of years, It's a hotspot somebody had given me. It's an AT&T branded hotspot. Like I said, it's on Cricket It's on Cricket Wireless, uses AT&T's network. You figure, well, it's AT&T, it should work. That's not true. Even though there's a really strong AT&T signal up this way, this thing wouldn't connect at all. It was just totally dead. So all I had was my 50 megabytes of data on my T-Mobile phone the last time I came through here, which made this difficult to use. So I figured, well, maybe it's just some weird contract issue between AT&T and T-Mobile. With AT&T and Cricket Wireless, and they had certain areas there where you couldn't get premium access to the network or something. I don't know. So I stopped at after I got back from that trip, I stopped at the AT&T store and asked them about it to see if I can move this over to an AT&T prepaid plan. Now, the Cricket Wireless plan I have, I pay $35 a month and I get 20 gigabytes of data. The AT&T plan I wanted to move it over to was the same $35 a month, but I'd lose 5 gigabytes, so I'd be down to 15 gigabytes of data. But this would now be on a real AT&T connection, not a secondary reseller's version of the AT&T network. So they got me a SIM card, plugged it into the hotspot, and it wouldn't work. It told me it was SIM locked. AT&T SIM card wouldn't work in the AT&T hotspot because it was locked. Huh? So apparently they made some change to apparently this is a 10-year-old hotspot, and somewhere along the line AT&T made a change to their SIM cards when they probably made the smaller version of it. So when they made the smaller version of it, these older devices considered it as being a new, a different carrier SIM card and wouldn't bypass the SIM lock. Though the Cricket Wireless one works just fine in it. So, okay. So why not just unlock the hotspot? Nope, can't do that. You have to be a subscriber to AT&T for 60 days before they'll give you an unlock code. Really? So I'd have to subscribe to AT&T for 60 days, not be able to use it before they'll unlock the hotspot for me. And even the guy at the AT&T store calling the corporate headquarters, asking about it, couldn't get anywhere. They dug their feet in. They would not give the unlock code because I hadn't been subscribed to AT&T for 60 days. So basically I canceled the order at that point in time. They lost a chance to make money. Figure that one out. They didn't want to make money. I can't figure it out. So I did some more digging, and it turns out the biggest problem with this hotspot is it's not running the updated firmware. So, okay, let's update the firmware. Apparently on the updated firmware there's 2 bands that aren't even turned on in this hotspot. And that's probably the bands that I need to get onto the AT&T network in this part of Vermont. So let's update the firmware on it. Nope. Can't just download the firmware off the internet, plug in the USB cable to a computer right here, and transfer the firmware. The firmware has to be done over the air. It's the only option AT&T gives you. You have to update the firmware over the air. And guess what you can't do if you're not an AT&T subscriber? You can't update the firmware. It wouldn't connect to the server to update the firmware. It will run on Cricket Wireless, but it won't. AT&T won't let you access the update servers without actually having a real AT&T SIM card in here. So no matter what I did, I was stuck. I couldn't make this thing work the way I wanted to. So all that leads to the next part of the story here. The solution. I went to eBay and I bought this hotspot. This one works fine. Well, sort of works fine. Wake it up here. And it does occasionally just randomly drop the connection for some reason. You can see there it's lost the data connection. It's done that a few times here. And the only solution to that is to reboot it. So we restart it. After it restarts, though, it'll work fine. In fact, the first thing I noticed when I got that thing home and tried it out, it was like 4 times faster at home than this old hotspot was connecting up to AT&T's network. But it at least works out here. I mean, yeah, I get some weird issues there where I have to restart it every now and then. This is like the 3rd time today I've had to restart it now, and to get the connection back, but it does work. Once it connects, I have service. It's slow where I am. That's to be expected. It's only 1 bar of service here, but it is working. If I brought it over to Voderbrook Overlook, though, it would get a full-scale signal and it would work fine. And not quite connected yet. It should reconnect. But anyway, I've been online. I've actually been able to get on the internet and do stuff here from the van and around the campsite. I can stream YouTube videos. It's been a perfectly functioning service. So I've been happy with it. And that cost me about $40 on eBay for that new hotspot. And it's a bigger and it's a faster one. A larger battery on it and everything. So I'm very happy with the purchase. And that pretty much lives in the van now and gives me internet access on all my trips. Story number 2. Another item I've dealt with recently. So I've got this Nebo headlamp that I bought. I've been pretty happy with it. It's bright. Let's see, it's a nice bright light. I guess it will go all the way up to 400 lumens, so it's a really good headlamp. Gets some decent battery life and everything else. I've been using it quite a bit, so. And I only had it for about 2 months, and it broke already. The mounting clip back here, it's hard to see in this light, I know, but there's supposed to be a plastic piece down here and things like that, so kinda just if I put it up, put it up in my head here, kinda just flops down. It won't stay up. So I contacted Nebo about it. Figured, well, let's see if they'll help me out. I mean, it's only 2 months old. It's definitely still under warranty and things like that. So I checked to see what kind of response I'd get from them. Within a day, actually just within a couple hours, I had a response back from them that they were going to send me a replacement. Not only did they didn't just send me a replacement part, they sent me a whole replacement headlamp. You can see it's good and solid. It does not flop down. That plastic piece is still intact. So I got a replacement headlamp out of the deal. And they told me I can keep the old one too. So, excellent. I like Nebo. Not so happy with AT&T, but I like Nebo. So they sent me a replacement out. I got it about a week later. And now it's here. I'm still using the old one, though. I'm going to keep using that one for a while there because, well, I've got it. Might as well use it. Use that one. When that one breaks completely, then I'll switch over to the new one. But I've got them both with me just in case. They both work. You can see the new one's just as bright. Nice and bright. Whoa, that's bright. There you go. Now the neat feature on these ones here is the floodlight on it and a nice bright red light. So I like these headlamps. So I think I'm going to be getting myself some more Nebo flashlights and things like that. I've been looking for a really bright handheld flashlight for use in the van there. More or less so if I hear something outside, I can shine it outside and see stuff at night. So I'm planning on getting a Nebo, probably 1,000 lumen flashlight soon. So anyway, so that's enough for story time. The fridge is still running and making all kinds of noise, but anyway, that's my hotspot. Did it finally connect properly yet? Yes, it did. Now I don't know if you can see it, but it shows 1 bar. 1 whole bar, but oh well. Now the fridge shuts off. Thank you, fridge. Anyway, so tomorrow morning I gotta get up and get ready to head out to Marlboro, Massachusetts, getting ready for the Northeast Ham Exposition, which will be held this weekend. So another big ham fest. So I'll be heading out there. I'll be staying someplace in Marlboro overnight, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I guess that's where we're going to end this video. We'll catch you guys in the next one in the morning. I want to thank my supporters who've helped buy some gas along the way. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember, slow down and enjoy life, and we'll talk to you guys later. Okay, I have company, yep. Occupied. Sorry. Somebody wanted my campsite.